Fellas, we gotta talk about the Super Bowl performance. Bad Bunny gonna be performing in the Super Bowl. I think he's gonna put on a great show. Um, even though Ice may be at the Super Bowl, regardless, I think at the end of the day, look, the bottom line is Bad Bunny puts on the show. He puts on a performance. You know, I know I hate to bring it up. I hate to bring it up because again, President Trump, and thank God for the president, he will not be at the Super Bowl. In the words of Ice Cube on Friday, bye, Felicia. So I'm happy that we don't have to deal with President Trump's nonsense. I just hope Bad Bunny puts on the show, performs in the Super Bowl. I know he's going to put on some great entertainment. Who knows what's going to happen? But, fellas, what do you expect for the Super Bowl halftime show?
I'm gonna make sure it's on three different TVs just so the Raiders can be up and beat that bullshit concert that Turn Up on America is putting on. If anybody's gonna be a factor, beating that bullshit ass concert, and I'm sorry for PSP, y'all can find me later for it, but yeah, as long as that damn show beats that bullshit ass show that Turn Up on America has coming on, yeah, I'm all for it. You got Kid Rock performing. Whoop de fucking do. Whoop de do. What's so funny about? I always look at Kid Rock as a reject gang member because the thing is, you're not even from down south and you wearing a rebel flag. You're not even from down south. You got rebel flags on. Like, who are you? Like, you ain't even from down south. You from the heart of Detroit. Matter of fact, you was on the Bad Boy Pistons documentary. You narrated it, but yet you claim you carry yourself like you just this Southern gentleman. And I do use that term loosely. So as long as Bad Bunny, I'm rooting for you. I'm gonna make sure if the TV is on every single house. I got like 3 or 4 TVs in here. I'm gonna put them on all just so you can get the ratings, so you can beat that concert or whatever that they got going on that other station because it's terrible, man. Hey, look,
Well, it's not a surprise, champ, that Kid Rock would actually sound like that. I mean, look, Ted Nugent, he's from Michigan, and he sounds crazy if you actually listen to Ted Nugent, if you're familiar or aware of Ted Nugent's history.
Stranglehold. Oh yeah, I didn't know he wrote. Yes, I love Stranglehold, but
Ted
look,
Nugent's always been a tool, though.
yeah,
He is.
he's the Chevy Chase of rock and roll. So that's just being real. If y'all know about Chevy Chase, it was always people always say it was difficult to work with him. Although he came out with a lot of great movies, but Bad Bunny is American, guys. I know that y'all got this hamburger, apple pie, Coca Cola image of what y'all want, what y'all think America looks like. I know to y'all it's apple pie and hamburgers, and the fact of the matter is hamburgers is not even an American damn dish. It's from Germany. So, let's just stop the nonsense. I know everybody wants to, everybody's seen the Fantastic Four movie and they want America to look like that. But unfortunately for y'all, it don't. So, Bad Bunny, look, man. I hope he goes up. I hope he look. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm not for controversy or causing a stir, but I'm all for starting some shit where it needs to be worn. I hope he goes up there and wear a dress. I hope he wears the rainbow colors to pay tribute to the LGBTQ. I hope he sang every damn verse in Spanish just to piss as many people off as he can. I want his performance to be more headline news than the Super Bowl next day. That's how much controversy and shit I want him to start.
I love it.
So
And you
if
know,
you're
and you
offended,
know, and if you know for a fact, Sean Hannity, Laura Ingram, all
yeah,
them other,
I want
all
them
them
to be so
Officer
bad that
Brandon
they go to
Tatum,
the
Candace Owens, all them other people, they gonna be talking about it, and I'm like,
yeah,
fine,
and
whatever.
I
We
want
gonna
you to be
support
pissed
Brad.
at.
No, no, Chip. We gonna support Bad Bunny regardless. And for those who have a problem with Bad Bunny, whether he's an American or not, last time I checked, Puerto Rico is a part of the United
America.
States.
U.S.
So,
territory.
please do some homework and some research. And by the way, anyone who says that Bad Bunny doesn't sell or promote, if I'm not mistaken, he just became the first Latino artist to win Album of the Year last week at the Grammys.
Exactly, and he's headlining Backlash again.
So for people who have a problem with Bad Bunny, if you're not a fan of Bad Bunny's music, that's fine. And at the end of the day, champ, to each his own. Not everyone is everybody's cup of tea, and I'm sure you can respect that. But to say that Bad Bunny doesn't belong or doesn't perform or shouldn't perform in the Super Bowl, my response, sorry to everyone, but for anyone to say that Bad Bunny should not perform in the Super Bowl, fuck you,
With the
fuck you.
capital L.
Yeah, I mean,
With the
just
capital L. Again, like I said, I hope he pisses everybody. I hope he pisses as many people off as he can. Because the thing is, this man, let it go. It's not always about you. Am I the biggest Bad Bunny fan? Probably not. Did I enjoy watching him at Backlash? Yes. Do I enjoy some of his songs when I'm out here actually trying to work out and eating my food? Yes. Am I going to sit around here and play money to go to this concert? No. But guess what, man? He sells. And guess what? It's about ratings at the end of the day. If you can bring in those ratings, then guess what? Hey, and I think a lot, look, you can quote me on this and I hope you clip this, but I'm going to just be real. Everybody's going to be paying attention to the Super Bowl, but you can best believe, though, that halftime show, Turning Point versus the NFL, that is going to be the Monday Night Wars of the Super Bowl this year. That is going to be the Monday Night Wars of the Super Bowl this year. And it's going to be just like the Monday Night Wars were back in the day. It's going to be hip hop, Bad Money, whether you relate him with hip hop or not, versus rock and roll. Rock and roll, I will say. So that's just how it's going to be. It's going to be just like the Monday Night Wars were. Hopefully, in the great words of Teddy Long, you're going to lose this one too. So, and like I said, I hope that he makes. I hope he does something without just going outside of the bounds of what he's, without going outside of the bounds. I'm hoping that people are greatly offended when he goes on there. I'm hoping that he's great. I hope that they turn their nose up because they did the same thing with Kendrick Lamar. He's American. They did the same thing. Kendrick Lamar, they didn't want him to perform and they was, throwing shade at him, not realizing that he was a Grammy Award winner, that his song was the hottest in the nation that year. You said the
Not to
same thing
mention the
about
Super
Kendrick.
Bowl records, the ratings. Didn't he surpass Michael Jackson and Prince?
Yes. So, yeah, y'all did the same bitching and complaining last year when Kendrick Lamar performed. And last I checked, his hometown is Compton, California. That is in the United States. So if you were so damn hard up about America's performance, you would have supported Kendrick Lamar and everybody else that came before Bad Bunny. But you're not. It's not about American. It's about the image that you want America to be. Like I said, you want America to be French fries, hamburgers, and apple pie and Coca-Cola. When that is not what it looks like. It's a melting pot of beef stew. If that's a good analogy, I don't know if that is, but it's a melting pot of beef stew. But you want it to be apple pie and hamburgers, which it's not. If you look around sports, it's a melting pot. So I'm hoping that he does like I said, I'm hoping they said he might he gonna wear the rainbow flag. I hope people get in an uproar. I want people talking about this for days. I want you to be offended. I want you to say everything. I want him to do the most everything that is within the bounds that the NFL told him he can do and kind of get away with. I hope that every person looks at that screen that don't want to look at it and they're deeply offended by it. Because you want to whine and moan about somebody being on the Super Bowl because they don't fit the mold that you believe to be, then guess what? I want you to be offended. And the
And
thing is,
also,
if you're gonna be offended by anything, and I'm not gonna go into context, much like I didn't go into context in the Karl Malone situation, but if you're gonna be offended by anything, you really need to be looking at who the hell you got performing on your show, Turning Point. I'm not gonna say no names, Kid Rock, but you might want to pay attention to a lot of the lyrics that he's been saying over the course of the last years or so on his rap slash rock and roll career. because contrary to popular belief, he got his start in hip hop. So you might want to start paying attention to some of the rap lyrics that he's singing, especially with some of the comments that your man Ted Cruz said just recently. You might
And
want to.
not just that, but also the recent video of our current president depicting Michelle and Barack like that. But again, like I say, as I always say, champ, I'd rather be woke
And a
than
joke.
a joke. And I hope, champ, I hope he pisses them off, especially one in particular person. And I gotta hold your feet to the fire, big fella, because don't be surprised at all. A person you said yourself, I will give up content creation. I will give up podcasting. Jason Whitlock, he's gonna say something, and if he does, fine. But guess what? Fuck him. In the words of Denzel Washington from the movie American Gangster, Simple Simon motherfuckers. And when you hear Ted Cruz justifying certain people, and when you hear Kid Rock with his lyrics,
Yeah.
if y'all
So
having a problem with Bad Bunny performing in the Super Bowl because he may not be American when actuality he is, or because of his outfits or whatever, then that tells me that's a hell of a lot more than you. So if I'm Bad Bunny, I look at them people who have a problem with me, fuck you and kiss my ass. That's all I got to say. BRF.
First off, first off, shout out, shout out to the homie Keith Lee for the Entertainment Tonight interview. That was beautiful, sir. Don't worry about what people say. Don't worry about people saying, "Oh, you're not a Christian." Da 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 da. Sir, all I'm gonna say is, if God was a person, we know where He would be. So we're just gonna read between the lines with that as you may. But I'm gonna keep it pushing. Bad Bunny was the choice for the Super Bowl. We know what the NFL is trying to do in terms of global marketing and trying to globalize the sport. I'm sorry, you're not going to get Brantley Gilbert if you're trying to globalize the sport. You're not
who
going
the hell
to
is
you're
Bradley
not
Gilbert?
going to get you're not going to get Morgan Wallen. You're not going to get any of these country artists if you're going to try to globalize the sport. Bad Bunny is who you want. Bad Bunny is one of the faces, if not the face, of global pure entertainment. It's Bad Bunny. Whether it's his albums being the most streamed artist in the world in the early 2020s. Like champ, you brought up his WWE appearances,
Yeah.
Whether it was WrestleMania 37, heck, Backlash. I still to this day watch that Backlash entrance when he went up against Damian Priest in that Puerto Rican street fight, when he came out to Chambea and that entire crowd was singing that song. Shout out to the San Juan, Puerto Rico crowd for that Backlash. That's to me still one of the greatest international pay-per-views of all time, just off of that crowd alone. And Bad Bunny was the centerpiece, and he showed up and he showed out. So, but it's crazy to me how we're in the big 2026 and we still have certain problems that us as a country are supposed to be past, and we're not even close to being past it. If anything, as a country, we're regressing because certain people and certain positions in the world have almost allowed it to be okay for those people to act a certain way towards other people. We we ought to be beyond past. We ought to be beyond as far as being past not liking somebody because of how they look or how they act or their color of their skin. We should be beyond that point. Everybody got problems. There's not a perfect being on earth. We all got the same problem. We all get dressed the same. We put our pants on the same. We put our shirts on the same. We all bleed the same. You know what I'm saying? To the 1%. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't piss and bleed gold, buddy. Y'all are human beings just like us. So the fact that it's like certain people have gotten and the people that are on the pedestals nowadays shouldn't even be on these pedestals, and it's a shame where we're at as a country. I hope and Bad Bunny, I don't want Bad Bunny to say one word in English. The only words I'll allow you to say in English are hello and goodbye when the show over. That's it. I want every other word in between them two. I'm talking about. I want you to Latin it up as much as you possible. And there are certain songs like I want to hear Chambea. I want to hear Monaco. I want to hear I want to hear the big hits. I want to hear the classics. I want to hear them. And I know
Mm-hmm.
I know I don't understand what he's saying. I don't speak a lick of Spanish, but you know what? At the end of the day, he's a really good artist who performs, and he's going to show out for the crowd. So all this stuff that's going on with how people are just against it, and the Turning Point USA, one of the most irrelevant shows ever created. It's an irrelevant show. They just, I don't know what they were thinking coming up with the idea of Turning Point USA having a halftime show anyway. It's stupid. Ain't a you have I mean, we know what you are to have to watch a show like that, but we ain't trying to get kicked off the air that bad. We don't want off the air that bad. We like what we do. But Bad Bunny's gonna have a great show because that's just who he is as an entertainer. And people just need to accept the fact that the NFL picked him and he's gonna show up and he's gonna show out and just leave it at that. Quit worrying about stuff. I mean, stuff he ain't got no business worrying about anyway. Let that man go out there and perform. Let him do his thing. We know as fans what the NFL are trying to do with globalizing the sport. Let that man do his thing. That man ain't done nothing to y'all. All he does is perform. I mean, if you ain't seen Happy Gilmore 2 in his performance, watch it, please. Watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Watch his performance in Happy Gilmore 2. One of the more underrated performances of that movie was him in that movie. I loved his role. I loved his role because he didn't even have to talk that much. It was his mannerisms, his faces, some of the things he did in that movie. He was great in that movie. So they had like Bad Bunny isn't this global star. People like talking about how relevant he is and all this other stuff. I'm like, do y'all even watch TV? Do y'all follow things nowadays? Do y'all not understand how relevant of a human being Bad Bunny is to society nowadays? Whatever rock y'all living in, just stay there. Because if y'all don't care that much, don't come out. Just stay where you at. Just I don't know, man. Just it's like I said, man. It's sad times we live in. That more people are worried about how somebody look or what they're gonna say, as opposed to certain people and their actions and how they're making the country just look so bad nowadays. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And as far as with the president not being at the Super Bowl, in the words of Ice Cube on the movie Friday, bye, Felicia.
The facts.
We don't want you.
He'd probably going to a brothel that night or something. I don't know.
He probably is. And that latest video of what he posted about the former president of the United States, Barack Obama, and Michelle Obama, disgusting, deplorable, but at the end of the day, not surprised. In the words of Rest Her Soul, Maya Angelou, when someone shows you who they are the first time,
Believe it.
and this ain't the first time with President Trump. But I just wanted to get that off the record because I wanted to talk. Because I mean, good thing about podcasting, I have conversations with y'all. It's like therapy. So sometimes when I got so much shit going on in my mind, and with Trump and ICE and everything else, there's no better way for me to express my opinions here on the pod, doing what I do best with y'all. So thank y'all for that.